Bye-bye. All right, number 3, which ones are you going to add? Before the 7 and the 5. Very good. Do standard form, all right? So this says 2 plus negative 3, which is 1e squared or just negative e squared, okay? Eventually I'll stop writing the negative 1, but I want to make sure we're all okay first. Now which ones? Negative 5 plus 7 is? What kind of 2? Positive. There you go. Okay? We will factor that later. Right now, let's just leave it like that. What about number 4? Which ones? What kind of x squared is that? How many? 1. So it's 1 minus 2. What's 1 minus 2? Negative 1x squared. Very good. Then what?
And then negative 3 and positive 5.
Very good. Now look what it says. It says negative 3 minus 5. It's going to be negative 8x. Very nice job. Are y'all okay? Alright, so what are we going to do after math workshop? We're going to review those ACT problems we did yesterday. You're going to get the answers and we're going to work through them, okay? Alright, so if you have never taken the ACT before, what did you notice that it told you to do on the side? Do your figuring here, right? Okay, so let's look at number 1. Time is money on the ACT. If you waste time, you might lose some money because you didn't have time to answer a few questions that you could have gotten right, which could be the difference on if you got the scholarship or you do not get the scholarship. Does that make sense to everybody? So we're not going to read number 1. Oh my gosh, your teacher just told you not to read the question, okay? You're going to start with the actual question, okay? Because the rest of it, who cares? What's the question say? What does the question say? I can get my words out today.
What is the probability that we will smooth the number of the club but not an officer?
Okay, so you didn't have to read anything because you see you have 2 numbers, 32 members and 5 officers, right? You can pick those out very quickly. So you have 32 members, and what are you going to do to figure out how many members you can have that are not officers? There you go. And you would get 1 person out of 27 people. Very good. Y'all okay? Yes, ma'am. This was the actual one that they took in December. Yep. So if you took the test in December, this is it right here. Did you take it in December? Yeah? Something like that. Yeah, December 10th. Okay, if you're very visual, you probably should draw 2 triangles on number 2. Okay? But you can do it without that. You can see that B is equivalent to which one? E. You see that AB is equivalent to, so you don't have to draw a triangle, but I'm very visual, so I like to draw triangles. That's just me. I know that's a time waster, but it just helps me, okay? So right here, you know that AB is supposed to be equivalent to, is that what that says? No. Nope. You know that AC is supposed to be equivalent to, is that what that says? No. No. You know that BC is supposed to be equivalent to, is that what that says? No. You know that angle A is on the left-hand side of the triangle. What other one's on the left-hand side? Is that what that says? No. What about now? Don't assume that it's K because you might have done something wrong, okay? So let's check it. Angle C is the one on the right. What's the other one on the right? Is that what that says? Yeah. There you go. All right, number 3. There are 2 different ways that I know to do this one. There's an easy geometry way, and there's a, I don't remember the geometry way, but I can figure it out using what I know about triangles. Does that make sense? Okay. Does anybody see something that they can do?
Ooh.
Jared, what you
At
got?
100, you could make the other side 80 because it has to be a
Very nice. That's the not the theorem way, but it is. I'm gonna use what I know about straight lines and triangles, right? So we know this is on a straight line, which means that 100 plus something is supposed to be 180, and that would be 80. You're all okay so far? All right, and then you know triangles are supposed to add up to be,
180.
so 180 minus 80 minus 65 gives you x. How much is that?
35.
So you know 35 is supposed to be x. Now there was a theorem way to do it from geometry. When you had an outside angle, does anybody remember it? Very good. You can either do 100 minus 65, or you can know the theorem said these two opposite sides added together equals that outside side, or outside angle. Does that make sense to everybody? Then you would just subtract it, and x would still be 35. Either one works. Anybody lost? Okay, where's that go? In the workshop ACT. And Madison put her name on the ACT 25 club. Go Madison, because she made a 25 to a 29 on the math part of the ACT. So if you have taken the ACT, or if you plan to take the ACT, when you get to one of these benchmarks, let me know, and we'll put your name up there. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. I'm just worried about the math part. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? I mean, I'm worried about more than just the math part, but that's the only one that goes up here. Good? All right, sweet. Here we go. So I'm going to hand these out to you. And where does this go?
In the
Calendar. Okay, let's talk about it real quick. So Wednesday was the first day of school, right? And we did the little get-to-know-you stuff. And then Sebastian's going to model how you walk in a classroom, guys. As he shuts the door.
Can I forget this class?
No, we're going to try it one more time. Miss Blackman was in the middle of teaching. So how do you walk in? My angel baby right there, y'all. That's my darling. What's he need, darling?
Show us it at that place. Because that place is lost. Yes. I did no one in the heritage.
Okay, just put it right there. Did you need a pass to class?
No, but that's not
Did you leave your lunchbox here? Okay. Okay. Oh, come on up. All right, look at Friday, guys, okay? Look at Friday. What do you notice I marked out? 1, because we reviewed it yesterday, right? 2, because we really weren't ready. 3, because we split one of your chapter tests in 2, so which gave us our 6 assessments that we needed. Okay, so you can mark that out on your calendar. But look what it says. What's it say we're doing today?
a lesson.
A lesson, okay? So look, here's what I want you to understand about your notes. We are not doing this whole thing today. This is your entire unit, okay? So these are about 2 weeks worth of notes. Does that make sense to everybody? To whole freak out. We're not doing them. Okay, so when you get it, pass the whole thing back. Pass the whole thing. Whole stack. Whole stack. Whole stack. Pass it up. Whole stack. Pass it, pass it. Whole stack. Did I miss anybody? Okay, and our calendar should go in our calendar section. So take a minute and put it in your calendar section. If you don't have a calendar section yet, that is perfectly okay. But please stick it somewhere in your binder so that you don't lose it. Notice that Thursday you have a what? Yes. And the week after that, on Thursday, you have a Yes, there you go. Okay, so if you're ever absent, you can just look at your calendar and see what you missed that day, okay? Then you can go where? And watch the video. There you go. All right, let's look at learning targets. You ready? 2 things we are learning today. What is the first one? You can classify real numbers, right? What's the next thing? Ooh, order of operations. What was the little sing-song that we did for order of operations since way back when?
Dear Aunt, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Very nice. All right, flip over. Here we go. Page 1. You ready? We're going to go through this quick. Okay, do you see the big box right here? So every single number you come across can be classified as what kind of a number? Real. How'd you know that R stood for real? They're right there, okay? Okay, so flip over on the back, and we're going to do 1 through 8. And what does that mean that we can classify every single one of those numbers as? So we're going to go through every single one. Here we go. Boom, 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 all the way down. Whew, that was super duper hard, right? That was horrible. I'm like sweating over here. That was so bad. Okay? You got to learn my sarcasm, okay? Okay. I mean, I wasn't meaning for you to giggle. I was just meaning. Anyway, I wasn't looking for a sympathy laugh. All right. Okay, so then the big box gets split into 2 boxes, right? And you have which 2 classifications?
Rational and irrational.
How'd you know that Q stood for rational? It says it right there in the box, right? Okay. So we got rational and irrational. Okay. You ever have that friend that was just like irrational and you couldn't talk to them, you couldn't talk sense into them, and you finally just had to go, I just got to walk away from you for a little while because you were not thinking straight? Okay. You got that irrational friend and don't nobody want to be around. There's nobody else there. Like pi and square root of 3, they're a little crazy, right? We all got those little crazy friends, and it's okay. So let's go through and let's either classify them as rational or irrational. Negative 185, is that he's okay or is he crazy? It's right. I mean, we all got a little crazy in us, right? So we're all a little, but we're gonna call he's decent. He's okay. All right. What about 4/9? How do you figure out if he is rational or irrational? You divide it. 4 divided by 9. And no, I'm not showing you how to do the fraction bar in your calculator yet. You good? Okay, now look, I know that's a decimal, but does that decimal have some kind of a pattern? Or is he like completely crazy? It's repeating, all right? So it's some kind of a pattern, so we would call that rational. Very good. All right, what about square root of 95? Do you remember how to type that in? Anybody need any help? All right, type it in your calculator real quick and make sure you can get the same number. Make sure you know how to type it in, guys. You need to borrow one. You don't have to ask. You just got to go get it. The only stipulation is you just got to put it back when you finish. Need any help? On the board, make sure you get the same number. If you need one, just go get one. All right, would that be rational or irrational? That's irrational. Very nice, because it doesn't have any kind of a pattern to it. All right, what about 5? It's rational. Very good. Yes, sir.
Wasn't 3 irrational?
Oh, gosh. Yes. Goodness gracious. Thank you, James. Goodness. Just flying through and not paying attention. Okay, where are we at? Number 5. Square root of 121.
Rational.
How'd you get rational?
Because that's 11.
Oh, that's right. Square root of 121 is a special kind of number. Does anybody remember what kind of name that has? Look at you go. Who said that? Yeah, Madison. That's a perfect square, which is 11. Very good. So that would definitely be a rational number. What about number 6?
It's
irrational.
That's irrational. There we go. Let me write an I that time. All right, what about number 7?
It's
How'd you get that?
Because 24 divided by 8 is 3.
Very good. 24 divided by 8 is 3. Very nice job. And the last one, number 8?
It's still rational.
Why?
Because
Because it's
37 is
repeating.
repeating.
The little line over it means repeating, right? Okay, here we go. All right. So then we're going to go back and let's do some more classifying. So irrational, if they're irrational, they're finished, right? So you stay there, but look on this up here. Which two are we finished with? 3 and 6 because they're irrational, so we're finished with them, all right? But if they're rational, we could potentially take it further. So look at Z. What is a Z? That's an integer, right? If you look right here in the table, it's an integer. And if you look up here at the top, how do we classify integers? Numbers that are not decimal, right? We don't necessarily want to call them whole because it will get it confused with this, but they are not decimals, and they are negatives, 0, and positives, right? So the way I remember it is you have to go all the way through the alphabet to get to Z, and so you got to go all the way through the number line. So that's the way I remember it. Maybe it'll help you. Okay, let's look at these. Negative 185, integer or not an integer? That's an integer. Number 2,
Not an integer.
it's not an integer because it would be a decimal, right? Number 3 is finished. What about number 4? That is an integer. It's a positive number. Very good. Number 5.
Integer.
Well, square root of 121 isn't, but square root of 121 reduces, right? So the 11 is definitely an integer. Very nice job, Jared. What about number 6?
No.
Nope, can't take it any further. Number 7?
Yes.
Yeah, because it reduced to 3, right? And number 8?
Nope.
It's a decimal, so nope. All right, then from there, then we're going to go from an integer to a whole number. What's the difference between an integer and, bless you, and a whole number?
There's no negative positive.
No negatives, but it still includes the 0 and it's still positive, right, Miguel? All right, so here we go. It still can't be a decimal, though. So what about number 1? Am I going to classify him as a whole?
No.
Nope. Number 2?
No.
Nope, he's a decimal. Number 3?
Finish.
Nope, we're finished with him. Number 4?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a whole number. All right, what about number 5?
Yes.
Yes, 11's a whole number. 6 is finished. 7?
Yes.
Yeah. And number 8?
Nope.
No decimals for whole numbers. Very good. All right, last one. Are natural numbers, okay? So what's the difference between the whole numbers and the natural numbers? No 0. Here's the way I remember it. How do you naturally count? Do we naturally count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
No.
We don't actually count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So, do I naturally count negative 185?
No.
So he's not natural. Do I naturally count 4 9ths?
No.
So he's not natural. Do I naturally count square root of 95? Do I naturally count 5?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, number 5. Do I naturally count to 11?
Yes.
Yes, because remember he reduced, right? Do I naturally count 0.625738?
No.
Do I naturally count 3?
Yes.
Yes.
Do I naturally count 0.37 repeating?
No.
So we finished. Y'all okay? Yeah. All right, here we go. All right, number 1, simplify. Your mama tells you to simplify your room. That means you're basically cleaning everything up, getting everything off the floor, putting things together in groups and baskets and all that good stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about? So let's clean this up. What could I group together and get cleaned up and put in one big basket?
8 and 4B.
8 and 4B. What kind of 8 is that? What kind of 4 is that? So it's got 8 plus 4, which is 12. All right, last one. Negative 3 plus 9. How much is that?
6.
Positive 6C. Yes, we can factor that out, but we will cross that bridge a little bit later when we go over it, okay? All right, number 2. Since we have announcements at the end, let's go ahead and let's do number 2 and 3 together, okay? Y'all good with that? All right, what can you do on number 2?
Multiply 2.
Very good. Distribute. What would you get?
You get negative
Negative 10G.
Uh-huh.
12, okay.
Perfect. Y'all okay? All right, now look, I know this says subtract 9, but when we multiply, we treat him like a negative. So we have negative 9 times negative 2. How much is that? Positive 18G. Perfect. Then we have a negative 9 times 4. Perfect. Oh, if I can write my K correctly. There we go. All right, see anything else? You don't see anything else? Yeah, what you see? Very good, Savannah. You can combine the G's, which will give you, yeah. Very nice. 12 minus 36 is minus 24K. And yes, we could take that further, but for now, we're just going to leave that alone.
Oh, wait, we can reduce it by the 8.
You can factor out the 8. Yeah, you can't reduce it by the 8, but you can factor out the 8. We'll get to that. Don't worry. Just a couple more weeks and we'll get to factoring. All right, number 3, do you see anything?
The 2 Y's.
You can't do the 2 Y's yet. What's that little symbol that's keeping you from doing that?
-1.
The negative 1 with the parentheses, right? Which means that I have to distribute first, okay? Now what would I get? No. Negative 2.
Plus
Plus 4Y.
Very nice. Now, when I combine these, I need to write my answer in standard form. What does it mean to write my answer in standard form?
Like the
Right there,
Y
right there,
equal
yeah.
M.
like the X and Y before the
Very nice. In alphabetical order. Very nice. Okay, so what's the first letter in the alphabet here?
X.
X. Nothing else is like him, so I'm going to bring him down. But I can combine the 2 Y's, and I get a positive 1Y, or just positive Y. And then what's my constant?
-2.
Minus 2. Y'all okay? All right, let's look at number 4. You ready? I'm about to blow some of your minds. Here we go. Very first thing is I need to distribute. Now listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. I already see you using your calculators. Fractions are your friends. For Algebra 2 and Trig, fractions are your friends. Decimals will make your life worse most of the time. Okay, y'all good? All right, so when we distribute means multiply. So how do I make this 5 a fraction? Same thing with the 8, right? You don't cross multiply. That's with the equal sign. You multiply across the top and the bottom, right? So that'll be 1 times 5 and 3 times 1. Y'all okay? Did I lose anybody? Gotta wake them brains up from summer, right? All right, here we go. Next one. What would I get on this one? Very nice, very nice. All right, what about this one? Ooh, but 6 fourths reduce. It will reduce.
3/2.
Yeah, 3/2, 3/2. Very good. All right, and the last one? Very good. It's 2/4, which is 1/2. Did I lose anyone? Remember, you do only yourself a disservice if you don't tell me if I've lost or not. Y'all okay? Anybody lost? Okay, you ready? The old school way of adding fractions was you had to find the common denominator, multiply everything, and then add, and then reduce, and all that good stuff, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. There's an Algebra 2 with Trig way, which I believe you've probably seen before in geometry, hopefully. What is the common denominator between all 4 terms? 6. So you can multiply the whole thing by 6. Let's make it a fraction to make our lives easier. What's 6 as a fraction?
6/1.
All right, here we go. You ready? You might want to watch first. All right. What's 6 times 5? 30. 30. What's 1 times 3?
30.
All right, so what's 30/3? 10/1, which is 10. Are y'all okay? Hopefully you did that in geometry, right? Kind of, sort of, yeah? All right, let's do the next one. Here we go. What's the numerator?
That's 48.
48. Very good. Guys, there's no harm in using that calculator. Use it, okay? What's the bottom?
3.
So 48/3 is 16. Okay, y'all are awfully quiet. Good. Okay. All right, here we go. Next one. What's my numerator?
18.
18. What's my denominator?
Yeah.
So what's 18 over 2? Very nice. All right, last one. Here we go. What's the numerator?
2, 6,
6. What's the denominator?
2,
So what's 6 over 2?
3.
3. So 3y. Very nice. All right, tell me my answer. Go.
19 plus 13.
Very nice. 10 plus 9 is 19. 16 minus 3 is a positive 13y. Very nice job. Are y'all okay? All right, here we go. Last thing. If you look back on your calendar, once we finish page 1 and 2, keep your place. Keep your place. Where are we going after page 1 and 2?
5.
Not yet.
No way.
Look at all your lessons. What's it say? Where are we going to start? Start the algebraic expression notes, which was page 2, which we already did, to 3. So we're going to start page 3. Guys, I just want you to know how to read that, so in case you're absent, you know what we did, okay? So we're going to do 1 and 2. Do you see what the directions tell you to do?
Evaluate the question.
Yeah. So I'm not going to say 2a anymore. What am I going to say? There you go. And I'm not going to say b plus 3 anymore. What am I going to say?
3 plus
Yeah, there you go. And what was the order of operations again?
10.
PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Do you see any parentheses? What'd you see? What's 3 plus 3? How much? 6. Very nice. Do you see any exponents?
Yes.
What you got?
36.
36. 6 squared is not 12. It's 6 times 6, which is 36. All right. Do you see any multiplication?
Yes.
Yeah. What you see? Negative 4. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Any division? Any adding? Yeah. What's negative 4 plus 36?
32.
Very nice. Got it good? All right. Last one. Number 2. Here we go. What would I say? Yeah.
5 times 4.
And then minus 2. Now look, brackets. Brackets are just a fancy parentheses. They're a fancy parentheses, okay? Now look right here. You ready? It's b, which is 3, minus a, which is negative 2. Very nice job.
Couldn't you just add them?
Mm-hmm. And this would just be how much?
5
5. Very good.
plus
All right. Do you see? I can't go on yet. I can't multiply. I can't subtract because I still have these fancy parentheses right here. Y'all okay? And how much would that be, Jared? 9.2. Very good. Now what? Any exponents?
No.
Any multiplication?
Yeah.
Yeah, where? Oh, what is that? 20 and then 1, 21. Yep. And then this 18.4. Yeah. And then you would get, what is that, 2.6? Y'all okay? Did I lose anybody? Why are you so quiet? Did I lose you? Anybody get lost? No? At the end of the day, you're tired? Yeah? Come on, let's wake up. Let's go. We got some math to do. Ready? All right. So, now that we finished with that, there are 2 places that you can find your homework. Where's one place you can find your homework? Not yet. It hadn't posted yet.
The board.
The board is 1. Where are we going to go?
Page
Page 5, numbers 1 through 12. Or, Danielle, we could go where else?
The calendar.
The calendar that I just gave you, okay? Please make sure you know how to read that for when you're absent. Yes, I know there's not a page 4. I've kind of taken some things out and put some things in different places, so there's not a page 4. And we are doing 1 through 12. What's the only thing it tells you to do?
That's the numbers.
Classify them, right? That's all you're doing, classifying. That's our very first learning target, y'all okay? Okay, here's how homework works. You ready? Homework is worth how many points? 10%, right? Okay. We could do one of two things when you come in on Monday. We might wait until we get the whole page finished, and then we'll turn it in. That's one way we do homework. Another way we do homework is I might come around and spot check certain ones. Does that make sense to everybody? More than likely, that's how we'll do it on Monday. I'll come in and spot check it, okay? Because it's pretty easy to grade. Does that make sense? Anybody lost?
Can we do the symbols or do we have to write it out?
Please do the symbols. Please do the symbols. Yes. All right. So that's page 5. And then look, when you finish, listen, calculators, ready? When you finish, please make sure you turn your calculator off. You put it in the case. And if it's mine, please put it back. If it's yours, it's a good habit to start turning it off and putting it in its case to protect it, okay? Because they're very expensive. Y'all good? All right, sweet. 1 through 12, go.